Hey everyone, it's Hairyfrankfurt, and today I want to tell you the story about being involved in an assault. Now, that sounds dramatic, and it sounds like I'm lying, but I swear to God, this is not clickbait, this is not a joke, this is me being dead-ass serious. I was involved in an assault. I was not the perpetrator, I was not the person who was doing anything wrong. I was literally just a bystander who stood up and did something when it was really important that something got done. So here's a story time for you, and I hope you like story times. If you do, make sure you are subscribed, and it lets me know that I should keep doing story times because I have an entire playlist of them if you want to check those out, because I do these regularly enough that I have a playlist of them. So if you like them, you probably want to be subscribed to this channel. Now, to begin with, I may as well set the scene because it was really just a standard basic day when nothing was happening. I was on my way back to uni after, so basically this was while I was in semester at uni and I was going to the shopping center. So the bus stop is in like one of our busways, and there's like lots of bus stops and lots of people always using the public transport there. So I was on my way from the shopping center out to catch a bus, and I noticed what appears to be a fight. And I was like, well, that's not cool. So I went straight for it. And this is the weirdest thing, because normally you see a fight and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Someone help. Oh, no one's doing anything. Well, I guess it should be okay. But I did not respond that way. I saw a fight and I was like, it looks like it's being broken up. It looks like, and then I realized, hang on a second. No, I didn't do multiple different bystander awareness trainings to not try and break up a fight. Because at this stage, I really thought it was just a fight that was taking place between hooligans, if you will. And I was like, no, you know what? I don't care how dumb these people are to get into a fight. It's not cool. It's not happening. And so I went straight for it. I actually ran into one of my teachers there, which was the weirdest thing, and it was so crazy because he was in distress because he noticed this fight as well. Because again, from what I saw, from what I could see at this stage, it looked like a fight, and I went straight for it. I saw my teacher and was like, hey, you, help, you call security or call the police or something. I'm gonna go and try and break this up. I took 2 steps forward and realized this was not a fight. This was a couple at around 18 years old, literally wailing on someone who was in fetal position, having their hair pulled and their face kicked in. And I will give you this as a scene setter because I'm a white person, and these people who were doing the assaulting were also white people. And that's not to say that white people are not good people, but I will say that the person who was having their face kicked in was not white. It was a little Asian lady, and she was just in fetal position trying to fend off these people who were kicking at her and punching her. It was at that stage that I realized this is not a fight, this is an assault. And this is a very one-sided assault where a couple is literally wailing on an Asian lady. And I didn't think at that stage, well, I mean, let's be honest, at that stage I was like, well, 1, not fair. 2, probably racially inspired because these 2 hooligans are very white, and in Australia we call them bogans. They seemed like the kind of people who'd be racist, and it's probably pretty rude of me to assume that a person was being racist. But I mean, if the shoe fits, right? If the shoe fits, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. So I get there and I hear the couple, or the boyfriend, say to the girlfriend, because it's a hetero couple, of course, it's a white hetero couple. At this stage, I'm 2 steps closer to them, and the boy says to the girl, because they're not really adults, they're probably like 18, the male says to the female, not the one getting beaten up, the one that was probably his girlfriend, something to the effect of, babe, we gotta go. Because he obviously realized people are starting to take notice of this incredible event that was taking place. So I obviously come forward and I help the victim of the assault get up, and I was going to take her to the police inside the shopping center, and I get a bus driver's attention because I can see this couple running away, and I didn't want them to get away with this. Like, it was bullshit that they had done it in the first place, but if they can just run away afterwards, that's like the most bullshit. That justice wouldn't have been served if they had just run away. So I was trying to get the attention of a bus driver to see if I could help the victim get to the police and get medical attention for the bleeding that was happening on her face, while also trying to get the two baddies, if you will, the assaulters, to actually have justice be served, to have them like serve some kind of punishment for this. And so I was like, hey, bus driver, can I take a photo of these people because they've just committed a crime? Because at this stage, I'm obviously a witness to a crime, and I'm now a bystander who is taking an active role in the fact that we need to kind of press charges on this couple. I was on my way to take the victim to the first aid and security and police thing, and the couple are in front of me, and I'm kind of assisting the victim, and she just keeps saying over and over and over again, because she's now in instant shock. She's gone straight into shock after being beaten up, which, I mean, come on, like, who could blame the poor thing? She's just repeating over and over again, all I said was say thank you. All I said was say thank you. Because apparently, and this is like my piecing together of what had occurred, the couple were on the bus that the Asian lady was on, and as they were getting off, the Asian lady has said say thank you to the bus driver, because obviously they were being rude and inconsiderate on the bus, and she has suggested that they say thank you to the bus driver because it's polite. That's what you do. And I hate people that don't say thank you to the bus driver. So like, I have no sympathy for these people because they don't say thank you to the bus driver, and they've just wailed on someone for suggesting that they do say thank you to the bus driver. We're walking away, and the couple are talking to each other in front of us because that's the direction they were going, and I'm trying to help the victim go to where she needs to go to get, you know, looked after. It was at this stage that the man or the boy or the male turns around and says, "Shut the fuck up, you something Asian lady thing." It was racially inspired, and like, I don't want to quote him and I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't want to say what he said, because it was just disgusting and racist and just gross, and just like, it was at that point that I got angry, because at this stage I'm like trying to get the attention of everyone, get the police called, get everything kind of organized, and then he starts spurting like racist bullshit, and I was so fucking mad that I was like, no, that's not on, and I went running after him. And it was at that stage that I asked the bus driver, am I allowed to take their photo so that I can report them to the police, because that's what I'm gonna fucking do, because how dare you be a racist cunt. So I went running after them. I let the bus driver look after the victim, and I go running after them, and I take a photo, and he turns around and comes barreling down at me because he thinks that I'm recording him, which he thinks is against the law, which I had just asked permission to do from a bus driver because we're in a situation where we're gonna need that photo, buddy. He comes running at me and he wants to smash my head in now, and my head is not getting smashed in today, honey. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Thank you. It was at this point that he called me something to the effect of, "Oi, you dumb slut," or "dumb bitch," or "you stupid little whatever." It was something belittling my intelligence, which I find really ironic because I'm on my way to university. Thank you. This guy hasn't even finished high school and he's calling me dumb. I'm going to uni. So at this stage, he belittles my intelligence, comes running at me, and he's about to hit me and shatter my phone because he's like, "Oi, you dumb whatever. You can't record me." And so I get my phone in this hand and I stand up to him and I was like, "Yes, I can. I just checked. I got permission from like a person who's working here." And then he comes running at me. He's trying to grab my phone to break it. And I grab him by the scruff of the neck, and I literally like grab him. Like, I grab him. And I was like, no, this is so dramatic. And it's dramatic, but it's also like, how the fuck did I get myself in this situation? Anyway, I grab him by the scruff of the neck and I'm like, no, I'm allowed to use this photo for the report that I'm about to put in against you for the fact that you assaulted someone in a public place. Like, I was just so fucking like, ugh. Anyway, this guy realizes that I'm not about to back down. I'm not about to have my head bashed in. And he runs off. And then I take the victim to the security desk and I'm waiting around so that I can give in my statement to the police, because I'm a witness to a crime, which means that I have to stay to give my report and give my like recount of what happened, because that's what victims, well, not victims, that's what witnesses are supposed to do. And people don't realize that if you're a witness to a crime, you kind of need to stick around at the crime scene to give your like series of events, because that's really gonna help when it comes to persecuting the person who committed the crime. I can't think of a single person who would defend someone for assaulting another person, for saying please say thank you to the bus driver. Like, please tell me in the comments if you would defend someone for assaulting another person on those grounds. I'm not saying that I should have been as aggressive as I was, and I probably wouldn't have stopped had he tried to fight me. Like, I'm not about to just go, oh no, I'm being hit in the head. Like, I'm about to fight back, okay? I'm not gonna stop. I have no real training in fighting, but I can get angry. And I don't think I'm entirely weak. So I was prepared at this stage. I had enough adrenaline running through my body to really take this guy on. And while that's probably not the best response to the situation, I wasn't about to let him get away. And it was just the principle of the fact that he's being a racist fuck. And he was assaulting someone and no one else did anything. And it took me standing up to actually get his photograph taken, to actually take the victim to where she needed to go and to wait with her, and it was such, like, I don't understand. I mean, no one here, I don't think, is gonna be like, oh, that couple was probably in the right for wailing on someone for saying, please say thank you. Like, no one is gonna defend those actions. So why the fuck does no one do anything when those actions are taking place? Well, I cannot comprehend the fact that no one was gonna do anything, but I'm pretty sure no one's gonna be like, yeah, no, that's a pretty reasonable response to please say thank you. Like, I don't get it. So, all of that happened, and that is a very fight or flight situation, and I went for fight. I really went for fight, because I would have taken him on, and I know that's probably really insensible, not unsensible. It's probably really fucking stupid is what I'm trying to say, for me to take someone on who is obviously taller than me, because when I got him by the scruff of the neck, my hand was up at my face. Like, he's a head taller than me. He's a scrawny little dude who doesn't know how to fight, and neither do I, but I mean, he realized he didn't know how to fight and that I was willing to actually take him on, so he left. And I mean, fuck, like, that was all it took. Admittedly, I didn't make sure, like, I couldn't make sure that the police found him, but I did my goddamn best, and I think I did pretty well considering. And honestly, I was really expecting some kind of crash afterwards, but I hadn't gone into shock like the victim had. I had no autonomic response, really. Like, there was no real fear. There was no fear for me. And that was a little concerning, because in the car accident that I mentioned in one of my videos recently, I was terrified and I went into shock after that. And I mean, I don't know, I was fine after trying to fight someone, but I was fighting them for the right reasons. So I guess this is my way of saying, if you see something that you are not okay with in public, whether that is a domestic violence situation or a racial violence situation, or just like insensitivity, like if you see something and you're not alright with it, if it doesn't sit well with you, stand up, because these people expect no one else to stand up, and if you do, they back down real fucking quick, and if they don't, then other people will be confident to help you because they see someone doing something, and if they see someone doing something, then they'll feel guilty for not doing anything. And that's kind of the message that I wanted to spread with this story, which was probably really poorly worded and didn't really go anywhere. Really, all I wanted to share here was that you are more than welcome to take the photo of someone who is committing a crime. You are welcome to stand up in these situations, and I mean, it probably was not the most common thing that I didn't get assaulted as well. Like, if this happened to most other people, they probably would have experienced some kind of like repercussions, and I'm glad that I didn't. I was incredibly lucky, but it is important that more people stand up against the bullshit and more people actually defend people who are victims, like defend the victims. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, that was my story, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like story times, make sure you subscribe, because I do those. You guys will see me in the next video, so make sure you are subscribed so that you know when it goes up, and make sure you check out my playlist of story times, because if you like story times, it's probably something you're gonna enjoy. Okay, bye!